Most men spend hours trying to figure out how to stay in her thoughts. But the truth is, just 3 words said in the right way can make her think about you nonstop. And no, I'm not talking about the usual, I love you. I mean words that get under her skin and hit the part of her brain that keeps playing you over and over like her favorite song. Why most men fail? Here's the secret. Women don't focus on looks or perfection. They focus on feeling. If your words make her feel something no one else can, you will become unforgettable. That's why these 3 magic keywords are important. I'll share them in a second, but first, let me show you why most men get it wrong. They keep texting too much, over-explaining, or trying too hard to impress. But obsession doesn't come from trying hard, it comes from impact. The right words don't just reach her ears, they stay in her mind long after you're gone. Before I give you these exact 3 words, stay with me until the end because I'll also show you how to use them naturally so she never sees it coming, but always remembers you. Imagine making a woman think about you all day without sending endless messages, without chasing her, without trying to be some perfect version of yourself. Just 3 simple words. That's it. 3 words that, if used right, can make the difference between being just another face she passes by or the man who stays in her thoughts long after you're gone. Let's be clear. This isn't a cheap party trick, it's not a worn out movie line, and it's definitely not a silly way to control her. This is real. It's based on deep psychology and how attraction really works under the surface. I'm talking about the part of the mind Carl Jung studied all his life, the unconscious mind, that hidden space where true desire lives. Most people think attraction is about logic, checking boxes, he's handsome, he's smart, he's kind. Okay, I'm interested, but that's not how it really works. If it were that simple, dating apps would have solved love years ago. The truth is, the connections that move us most are not logical. They're emotional, symbolic. They live in the part of the mind you can't see, but you can feel. Jung explained it perfectly. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will guide your life and you'll call it fate. Understanding attraction and the unconscious. Think about it for a moment. The memories that stay with you. When someone's smile feels different, when a small comment touches something deep, when a glance feels like a whole conversation, those aren't planned. They are emotional triggers that go past logic and hit your core. They wake something inside you that you didn't even know was asleep. Here's where many men go wrong. They try to make her feel that way by doing more. More texts, more check-ins, more effort just to get noticed. But the more you try, the less magnetic you seem. True attraction doesn't come from effort. It comes from resonance, from a calm but lasting mark. You leave an impression when your words and energy skip her conscious mind and go straight to her unconscious mind. This is where those 3 words matter. They aren't just words. They are a symbol. They plant a picture in her head. They pull her into a story she can't help imagining herself in. Once that picture is planted in the part of her mind that holds meaning and feelings, you're no longer fighting for her attention like everyone else. You enter a new space. You become the man she can't stop thinking about, even if she doesn't fully understand why. Here's my promise. By the end of this, you'll know not just what to say, but why it works on a deeper level. It has nothing to do with tricks and everything to do with psychology. This isn't about making her obsessed for a week and then fading away. It's about building a connection that pulls her emotionally and lasts because it touches something symbolic inside her. This isn't magic. It's not manipulation. It's how the human brain works. Once you learn this, you'll see you don't need to chase, you don't need to stress, and you definitely don't need to be perfect. You only need to know how to speak in a way her unconscious mind will always remember. And that starts now. Why most men fail to stand out. Here's a truth most people never say. Attraction doesn't start in the thinking part of the brain. It doesn't begin with checklists. It doesn't care about points like nice, kind, good job, or good looks. That's not what makes someone unforgettable. The connections that stick with us, that linger in the best way, are emotional first, logical later. This is what Carl Jung studied his whole life. He showed that the human mind is driven just as much, if not more, by symbols, patterns, and hidden pulls as it is by reason. We like to believe we make smart, conscious choices, but really, the unconscious comes first. That's why he said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will guide your life and you'll call it fate. In simple words, until you understand what's controlling things under the surface, you'll think things just happen. You'll think you just clicked with someone, but that click isn't random. It's emotional and symbolic. Something in their words, moves, or tone speaks straight to your unconscious mind, skipping logic entirely. This is where most men accidentally block themselves from creating that spark. Why? Because how do they usually start? With something plain, polite, and flat. Hey, how are you? How's your day? Hope you're okay? It's not bad, but it's invisible. Those phrases don't spark anything. They don't create a picture. They don't cut through the noise of her day. If nothing you say triggers her feelings, there's nothing for her mind to hold on to. No hook, no replay later. Think of it like this. The mind doesn't store words, it stores feelings. You may not remember the exact words someone said years ago, but you remember how they made you feel. That's emotional anchoring. Without it, even a nice conversation fades into a boring blur. Here's the key. The unconscious doesn't care about perfect grammar, logic, or safe topics. It reacts to symbols, pictures, and suggestions. That's why one line with the right energy can be more unforgettable than 20 polite texts. Jung knew what moves us most is often invisible to the rational brain. When you tap into that, when your words carry a subtle spark, you pass her mental filter. She isn't replying out of politeness anymore. She's replying because something in your words touch an emotional thread she didn't even know was there. The power of novelty and emotion. So, if your goal is to leave a lasting impression, you need to stop starting with empty, boring lines. Next time you talk to a woman you like, ask yourself, does this create a picture, spark curiosity, or make her feel something? Or is it just filler? Because filler gets forgotten. Feelings get remembered. Once you understand that attraction works in the unconscious, not in polite small talk, you stop trying to impress with perfection. You start aiming for emotional impact. That's when you go from being just another message to the memory she can't forget. Let's be real. Most conversations start the same way. Hey, how are you? How's your day? Hope everything's good? Safe? Nice? Totally forgettable. I'm not saying kindness doesn't matter. It does. But safe is the fastest way to be invisible. Polite, neutral greetings don't spark feelings. They are placeholders. They don't create a picture, a feeling, or curiosity. If the brain doesn't get something emotional to hold on to, the memory doesn't stick. Here's what most people don't realize. The mind isn't like a recorder saving every word perfectly. It's like a painter. It sketches moments that feel meaningful and fills the rest with background blur. You may forget exact words, but you remember the laugh, the butterflies, the curiosity. That's emotional anchoring. If you start with, hey, how are you? Her brain puts it in the same folder as hundreds of other, hey, how are you? New messages that week. It doesn't stand out, so it doesn't replay later. If you don't stand out in the first few moments, you're already behind. Think of it like smell. Ever smelled a perfume or cologne and instantly remembered someone from years ago? That's because scent connects directly to memory and emotion. Words work the same way. When they carry feeling, they link to an emotion, and that emotion is what sticks. So the problem isn't that you reached out. It's that you reached out without meaning. You didn't spark her emotions. You didn't paint a picture in her mind or create a moment she could actually feel. The 3 magic words. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Psychologically, the brain is wired to notice new things. Anything that breaks the usual pattern, anything that interrupts the autopilot of daily life, gets marked as important. That wiring from thousands of years ago, where noticing something different could mean finding food or not, still exists. Today, it means noticing someone who feels different from everyone else. So, when you start with something that makes her pause and pulls her out of her daily routine, you trigger that novelty switch. And if what you say not only breaks her pattern, but also sparks curiosity or feeling, you create a double anchor. She's not just noticing you in the moment. Her brain is also putting you in the worth thinking about again category. But here's the warning. Novelty without feeling is just a funny or quirky line. It might make her smile for a moment, but it fades fast. You need both something unexpected and something that makes her feel, because emotion is the glue that makes novelty stick. That's why the difference between how are you and something charged, playful, or image-rich is huge. One gets ignored, the other stays in her memory. In attraction, the second you take emotional space in her mind, the game changes. Here's the trap most men don't notice. You start sounding like every other man in her inbox. Same greetings, same safe questions, same predictable rhythm. When you blend in, you disappear. It's not that she doesn't like you, it's that nothing about your words creates a moment worth remembering. You'll become part of the background noise, not the melody she replays in her head. Then, because you feel invisible, you overcompensate. You send longer texts, fill them with emojis, give big compliments, ask question after question to keep the conversation alive. Here's the hard truth. That doesn't pull her closer, it pushes her away. Why? Because the unconscious mind doesn't respond well to pressure, attraction grows in space. In that subtle tension between wanting to know more and not having all the answers, when you flood her with attention, you kill that tension. What was once light and exciting now feels like a chore. Too much effort also flips the emotional script. Instead of her thinking, "Can I win him over?" she starts feeling like the prize is already handed to her. Human nature values what's earned more than what's given freely. When something feels too available, the mind assumes it's worthless. Constant questioning is one of the fastest ways to drain intrigue. It makes the conversation feel like an interview. Asking questions isn't bad. The right ones at the right time are powerful. But when you ask too many just to avoid silence, it shows you care more about filling gaps than creating real connection. Attraction isn't about how much you say, it's about the quality of the moments you create. Your goal isn't to cover every pause or prove how interested you are. Your goal is to drop sparks, small flashes of novelty, curiosity, and feeling that stand out against the background of her day. Think of it like this. If every other man gives her a bucket of water, you want to be the one holding a match. A match changes the atmosphere instantly. It has heat, energy, and mystery. It makes her pause, notice, and wonder what's next. That's the difference between being background noise and being music. Carl Jung often spoke about symbols and emotional resonance. When you speak in a way that hints at possibility, painting even a small picture in her mind, you're not just making small talk, you're engaging her unconscious. That's where real attraction lives. You and me. Instead of chasing her attention with more words, compliments, or effort, take a step back. Give her space, let your presence and your words carry the weight. Give her moments to feel you, not just read you. When you stop trying to talk over every other man in her inbox and focus on impact, you go from being background noise to being the signal she notices without knowing why. Now, here's the key. 3 simple words, so simple, you might laugh, but used with the right energy at the right time, they can completely change how a woman sees you. Those words are you and me. Your first thought might be, that's it? That's the big secret? But most people miss the real point. The power isn't in the words themselves, it's in what they suggest. You and me doesn't just describe 2 people, it connects them in her mind. It creates an image where you're already together, already in the same scene, already part of the same story. Carl Jung explained that our unconscious mind thinks in symbols, not checklists. You and me is exactly that, a symbol. It goes past logic and reaches the part of her mind where meaning and emotion live. You're no longer just talking to her, you're talking with her in a way that makes her feel like you're already connected. Here's why this matters. Most men, when they want to suggest doing something with a woman, ask for it. Do you want to go out sometime? Would you like to grab dinner? When you ask, you hand her all the power. You are waiting for approval, and whether you notice it or not, that changes the dynamic. You're in the position of someone requesting instead of someone creating together. But when you say, you and me should grab dinner, you're not asking. You're declaring a shared possibility. You're framing it as something that could already exist. It's not a plea. It's an invitation filled with quiet confidence, and it hits differently in her mind. Think of the unconscious like a movie projector. Normally, when you talk to someone, you give them information. They process it. Maybe they remember it, maybe they don't. But when you say, you and me, you're giving her a short scene to play in her head. Suddenly, she sees you together, laughing at a restaurant, standing side by side, sharing an experience. That mental picture is the emotional hook, and here's the subtle genius. It's not pushy. You're not saying we should be together on day 1. You're giving her something light, playful, and easy to imagine, but it still builds a connection. You're suggesting, not demanding. That's why it creates curiosity instead of pressure. Jung would say, you're speaking in the language of the unconscious, using a simple symbol to spark desire. Desire doesn't always need big gestures or deep confessions. Sometimes it's sparked by a small hint, a suggestion she starts imagining on her own. The best part? You and me works in endless ways. You can attach it to an activity. You and me should catch a concert or a feeling. You and me would make a dangerous team, or even a joke. You and me, we'd survive a zombie apocalypse. Each time you use it, you reinforce the image of being together without begging for it. That's why these 3 words are more than a line. They're a frame. They shift the interaction from 2 people just talking to 2 people sharing a possibility. When you plant that possibility in her unconscious mind, you stop being background noise. You become the scene she can't stop replaying. Here's why you and me work so well. It quietly communicates three qualities that women find magnetic, even if they can't explain why. Comment your favorite line. I want to know what stuck with you. Thanks for watching.